Police search warrant! Police search warrant!
Yeah, so we're here in Williamsport. It's the Williamsport Special Response Team. The Special Response Team is it's a multi-jurisdictional, multi-agency team, and what that basically means is that it's a team of officers, EMS, and firefighters who are also EMS, who come into the team from various agencies, and they all sort of bring a different skill set with them, for the team. So you would see Special Response Team arrive and respond to anything from high-risk search warrants. So if there's a search warrant at a residence or a building where the personnel that are involved are an added danger, meaning that maybe they have firearms charges, or they're a felon that's had a violent criminal history, or they have a violent circumstance surrounding them at the time. Maybe they're a homicide suspect. The team would respond to execute that high-risk warrant. We work cooperatively with the crisis negotiators in the county, and there's several of them. We have some on the team as well who we respond to hostage incidents, and the goal of that is simply to bring a peaceful resolution and to preserve life, to bring that critical incident to a conclusion with everybody's safety in mind and the lowest amount of force that we have to use to bring it to a peaceful resolution. So you'll see them respond to terrorism incidents as well. We're part of the North Central Terrorism Task Force. You'll see them respond to barricaded gunmen. If we have an active shooter who barricades themselves, or even a domestic incident where there's shots fired and then they end up barricading, the team will respond to that as well. And the goal of that really is to bring those additional tools and tactics with them, and to bring that process and slow it down a little bit and bring it to a peaceful resolution, and keeping everybody, including the community, safe while we bring that to resolution. You're tapping the resources of all the different agencies that are involved and the professionals that are masters of their craft, and we bring them all together to train them together. If you have an injured civilian during one of these incidents, or a person that's involved that gets injured, we have EMS with us on scene. So their job really is twofold. Their job is to provide care for people that we might come in contact with at a scene. They're also there for the protection and the treatment of officers. Heaven forbid an officer gets shot or injured in the line of duty as well. So we have firefighters on the team that are also EMS. They bring with them a lot of craft as far as being able to breach certain doors and help us get into areas. And then we have obviously the law enforcement who train a lot of extra hours on just tactics and movements and the safest way to do things. So you bring all those things together, and the culmination of that is really what makes a team effective. This is entirely volunteer. Nobody here is appointed. They make application to the team. They take a physical fitness test, have to pass the physical standards. There's a team interview, and then there's a command interview. The team gets to interview every candidate and ask them some tough questions. When members of this team come on, it's not just something that they're taking on as a job. It's a way of life for them. And one of the things that's often asked is, have you talked to your spouse about this? These guys are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day of the year, every day. They don't cycle on and off of rotation where they're on call. They could be called any day, at any time, at any hour to respond in and go perform. So with that, they have to have a conversation with their spouse or their children or whoever they live with, where they understand that added responsibility that, hey, at 2 a.m, mom or dad might have to get up and leave right away. So there is a selection process, and everybody's here voluntarily on their own time. They spend countless extra hours conducting business for the CERT team, going to training. There's a lot of training that they're out of the area for, where they're flying to other cities and other regions to go get training that maybe isn't offered here. So it's a huge responsibility, and it's very demanding for the members that come on the team. In today's world, and with the equipment that's needed for teams to safely respond to a lot of these incidents, the equipment that's needed to perform those jobs is expensive. When you talk about ballistic armor and just certain tools that are specific to tactical elements, they're expensive. Ballistic helmets are expensive. Ballistic plate carriers. When you add the armor into them and the kit itself, you're into a couple grand, and that can be extremely taxing for any one agency, let alone a regional, or a multi-agency team to tap when you have 15 to 20 people on that team, not including the other stuff, the weapon systems that are required, the less lethal options that they're required to use and implement, and all the safety gear. So it's any donations that we've ever received, and we are truly grateful for them, regardless of the amount, because every little bit helps us serve the community better and more effectively with that gear. We also, the donations that we've received in the past are typically made out to the Williamsport Special Response Team. We've received, check is, the best case scenario, obviously. That goes into account that money is used solely for the Special Response Team. Doesn't go anywhere else. It's used to purchase equipment, protective gear, uniforms for new officers on the team, that kind of thing, to outfit them as we bring them on. So I think it's great to shed a light on some of the quiet professionals that are in the community that you maybe don't see all the time. You might catch a glimpse of them here and there while they're working or training like today, but they are training a lot, and they're always out there working really hard to bring the best possible training and scenario.
Please search warrant!
Please, Lord.